Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Madrasah TV show. This is a show where we bring you Madrasah right in front of your TV screens. Boys and girls, I'm your teacher Ustaz Hamza, and today I'm here to teach you very exciting and exclusive things. Today on this show, I am going to show you a beautiful verse of Quran. We're going to understand this verse, and inshallah ta'ala, our first segment is going to be drawing segment, where we are going to write this verse. So we have a calligraphy segment today, boys and girls. Bring your pen, pencils, colors, let's learn some calligraphy together. And then inshallah ta'ala, we are going to learn this dua in detail, so you can actually go and practice this dua. Boys and girls, after that, inshallah ta'ala, I am going to teach you a very important surah in Quran with tajweed, inshallah ta'ala. So next time when you have an opportunity or someone asks you, have you been watching Madrasah TV show? And you say yes, they say to you, can you recite surah for us? And you do, then you recite inshallah ta'ala with tajweed. Boys and girls, we are super excited to start this show. As I said, our first segment is going to be a drawing segment. Boys and girls, calligraphy segment is always fun. Let's get together inshallah ta'ala and practice some calligraphy together. Let's go. Did I tell you there is Bunny on the show? Oh yes, Bunny is going to be with us throughout the show. Bunny is super fast, and out of nowhere he can be running left, right, center, up, down. So let's go to the first segment. Welcome. Let's start inshallah ta'ala. Where is the verse? Which verse are we writing today? Boys and girls, here is the verse. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَذَا النُّونِ إِذْ ذَهَبَ مُغَاضِبًا فَظَنَّ أَن لَّن نَّقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ فَنَادَىٰ فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ أَن لَّا إِلَٰهَ إِلَّا أَنتَ سُبْحَانَكَ إِنِّي كُنتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Have a look at this and mention the man of fish. Who? Jonah. When he's a prophet, the Nun, when he went off in anger, Yunus alayhi salam, and thought that we would not decree anything upon him, and he called out within the darkness, there is no deity except you, exalt are you. Indeed, I have been of the wrongdoer. Let's focus inshallah ta'ala on this particular ayah here. And in this ayah, inshallah ta'ala, I want you to focus. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ أَن لَّا إِلَٰهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ سُبْحَانَكَ إِنِّي كُنتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. So boys and girls, today we are going to be writing this particular part of ayah number 87. Are we ready? Boys and girls, pick a pen inshallah ta'ala. This is going to be a memorable piece of art that you draw today. And the surah here is Surah Al-Anbiya, verse number 87, but we're not writing the entire surah. Have a look at this. Although I have a paper, I would like to pick here lines. And so if you have a notebook, use a notebook. If you don't have notebook, pick a page that have lines on. And so let's start inshallah ta'ala. And here's a rule that I would like you to follow. You see these lines in front of you? I would like you inshallah ta'ala to use line number 3, line number 2, line number 1, then line number 0, and after 0 I would like you to leave 2 lines empty. Don't draw anything on them at all. Now let's pick this. Let's take it slightly to the left. This is going to be our measure. I want you to keep this in mind inshallah ta'ala here, and I am also going to draw a line here. So remember, you are not meant to draw this. I'm just keeping it here so your writing is good. So have a look at this. When I'm doing my calligraphy, I am going to be writing here. I'm going to be writing on this line, on this line, on this line, but I am not going to write anything here or here. Unless a part of a letter comes down like this, maybe then inshallah it will be fine. Other than that, I'm not going to write anything on those 2 lines. Yes? Okay. So keep this inshallah in mind. You're using 3 lines and you're leaving 2 lines empty. Using 3 lines, leaving 2 lines empty. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. Let's start. Fanada. The first word I'm writing here is fanada. I would say watch what I'm doing and then copy. So I'm going to write fa first. Have a look at this letter. Here is a fa. This is fa. After fa we have noon, and then we have alif. Fana. I'm going to stop. I let you copy this. Fa, noon, alif. If you watch closely, if you pay attention, these letters are small and this letter is tall. The difference? Fana. Da, dal, with ha. Fana, da. Fanada. Dal and then alif. Yes, is it alif? Yes, it is alif, but it looks like alif maqsoora. Fanada. Next, fi dhulumat. Next letter is going to be fa. I'm not going to write the next letter right here. I'm going to create a bit of distance, and then I am going to write fi. Fa with ya. Fi. Fanada. Fi. Next, al-dhulumat. Al-dhulumat. Before I continue, this is alif, this is ya. How can we tell the difference? If you pay close attention, you would see a small alif here on top of this thing that looks like a ya. It's not a ya. Let's call it a thing until we agree. This is alif, this is ya. When I put tashkilat later on, I'll explain this. For now, let's move to next word. Fanada fi al-dhulumat. The word is al-dhulumat. I will teach you this dua in detail, inshallah ta'ala. I'll teach you when to use it. And this dua can certainly get you out of trouble in a lot of situations, boys and girls. Do you find yourself in situations that can be considered trouble? Yes, we all do. No. You guys, not me. I find myself in trouble a lot of times. So I would say this dua. You guys, boys and girls, let's learn how to write this first, and then we can argue who gets in trouble, who doesn't. Al-dhulumat. Pay attention. Hamza. Hamza. Next letter, lam. Although I am saying al-dhulumat, I would like you to write lam. Boys and girls, dha. Look here, look here, look here. I wish this was longer. Okay. I wish I stretched this a bit longer. Here. Now, look right from here. Dha. Lam. Mim. Alif. I'll pause, I'll let you guys carry on. And let me drop alif here. Look, boys and girls, and here is alif. Now let me drop ta. You see alif here, right on this edge here. And now let me draw ta. The word is dhulumat. There we go, mashallah, tabarakallah, al-dhulumat. فنادى في الظلمات أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. 10 more words, but these are very short words, so it's easy. I'm going to move to next line. I'm going to move to next line only because my words are massive, so I can't really write all the words in just this line here. So you guys keep going on the same line, inshallah ta'ala. Next word is an la. Not Allah, an la. So the word is Hamza with noon, an. Next, la. Lam with alif sukun. Allah. An, la. Next, ilaha. Ilaha. Hamza. Lam and ha. Ilaha. Next, illa anta. Illa anta. Hamza, لام ألف سكون إلا. Next أنت همزة نون and then تا إلا أنت. سبحانك. I'm going to write Subhanak on the next line because we don't have enough space here. So let me move to next line. Boys and girls, if we don't finish this calligraphy in this segment, we are certainly going to continue in the next segment. So pay attention. إلا أنت سبحانك. The word is Subhanak. Sin. Ba. Ha. Noon. And then we have Kaf. Subhanaka. Inni kuntu min al-zalimin. 4 more words, boys and girls, after a short break. Stay with us, boys and girls. You're watching Madrasah TV show. We are going to continue after a short break. Remember, I am going to teach you a dua. We also have a Quran segment. Stay with us. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Welcome back, boys and girls, to Madrasah TV show. Once again, we are still in our drawing with Hamza segment. We're learning some calligraphy. We're going to continue, inshallah ta'ala. I'm going to be teaching you a dua. And boys and girls, I am going to teach you a very important surah that you need to learn. You need to know how to read and recite this surah with tajweed. Boys and girls, I hope you're ready. Are you ready? Pick up your pen. Just before the break, we were learning this particular verse. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ أَلَّا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ سُبْحَانَكَ. I'm going to continue and I'm going to write إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Alright, so let's continue, inshallah ta'ala, right from where we stop. Subhanaka. And then we say إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Hamza, Noon, Ya. إِنِّي. Next. كنت من الظالمين. كنت. كاف. نون. أنت. إني كنت. إني كنت. Next. من الظالمين. ميم. And then نون. من. إني كنت من الظالمين. Last word is going to be الظالمين. We are going to learn this in our dua segment, so you can use this dua inshallah. Look at the word الظالمين, starting with Hamza, Lam, stretch it, and this is Dha, and this is Alif. Now where is the Alif that you see on top of Dha? Well, you see it right here. There we go. الظا, limin, lam, ظالمين, lam, mim, ya, and the last letter is nun. Subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. And this is verse number 78, boys and girls. 78, Surat Al-Anbiya. Now, you might think, Ustad, calligraphy is done. Can we go to next segment? I will say, no. Sit down, please. Well, you see here, this is incomplete. We have to add tashkilat now. Now, with me, I want you to really quickly guess quickly. Which letter here deserves a dot on top or underneath? I would say the letter here is Fa and the letter here is Noon. Fana. Boys and girls, next word is Fi. A dot on top of Fa. And I don't say there are dots underneath here. No. We're not going to talk about this, boys and girls. Al-Dhulumat. I'll tell you why in a second. Dot on top of Dha. Ta, 2 dots on top. Shall I add 3 dots on top of Meen because it looks cute? No. An, La, Ilaha, no dots. Illa, no dots. Anta, Noon, Anta with 2 dots. Subhanaka, Ba. Subhanaka. Inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Now, let me go back here. And now what we have to do, add tashkilat, and this will make, inshallah ta'ala, an absolute sense that, okay, is this why we're adding this? I'll show you. Fa fatha, fa, noon fatha, with the alif sukoon, which is right next to it, is na, fana. Then we say da, dal fatha, with the small alif, da, fana, da. Fa kasra, ya sukun, ni. Now, you might ask, Ustad, why not you adding anything here? Why don't you add anything here? Because, who you believe, listen to me, it's because these are stretching letters, and stretching letters in Quran are empty. They might have a mad on top, but they're empty. Al-Dhulumat. Hamza to wasl. Dhad with the shadda. And a dhamma. الظلمات. الظو. lu, ma, ti. I realize I made a mistake here, and that is, it's not an actual alif, it's a small alif. Al-dhulumat. There we go. فنادى في الظلمات. Next. ألا. Hamza fatha, noon sukoon, the empty noon, and. Next, لا لام شدة والدف فتحة أنا مد. إله همزة كسرة إي لام فتحة ألف صغيرة لا ها فتحة إله. إلا همزة كسرة لام شدة إل لام فتحة ألف سكون لا. And then we say أنت همزة فتحة نون سكون أنت فتحة أنت. We leave this noon empty because it's the hun noon. Not every time we do this, but we're doing it right here. أنت. سبحانك. سين ضمة با سكون سب. حا فتحة ألف صغيرة حا. سبحانون فتحنا كاف فتحة كا. سبحانك. Next إني همزة كسرة نون شدة إن نون كسرة يا تكون ني إني. كنت كاف ضمة نون سكون كن تا ضمة كنت. مينا ميم كسرة مي نون فتحنا مينا. الظالمين همزة فتحة ضا شدة أو ضا فتحة ألف صغيرة. I made a mistake again. This is supposed to be, there we go, الظالمين. Dha and then a small alif after, not an actual alif, it's small. Dha, li, min. Dha, li, mi, na. Boys and girls, let's have a look at what we wrote today. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ أَن لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ سُبْحَانَكَ إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Boys and girls, let's take you to the dua segment and teach you a dua. Assalamu alaikum. In a daily dua, we are going to be learning this particular dua. I remember teaching you how to write this dua. It's also a verse in the Quran, and the dua is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. But when you read it as a dua, you don't have to say Bismillah with it. None has the right to be worshipped except you. This is the translation. How far from imperfection you are. Allah, verily, I was among the wrongdoers. And this is in Jami' al-Tirmidhi. Okay, what happened? What's the story behind this surah? It's very simple. Then Nun, a prophet, he was in the stomach of a whale for many, many days. And he was there for a very long time. And he knew that no one would hear him. Right in the ocean, the stomach of a massive whale. No one would be able to hear you, no one would come and save you. And he was alive there by the will of Allah. And he was there, according to some narrations, for 40 days. And so he had no one who he can ask help from, so he asked Allah Azza wa Jalla for help. And he kept saying, La ilaha illa anta subhanak inni kuntu min al-zalimin. And so Allah Azza wa Jalla saved him from his calamity. Allah Azza wa Jalla ended that. And he came out and he lived. Subhanallah. This shows you something. And that is, if no one can hear you, and you are in darkness, and you think there is no way out, and you can't call anyone for help either, then there is one hope, and that is Allah Azza wa Jal, so you call on to Allah. And this dua tells you, what do you say? Let's read this dua one more time, And the dua is, La ilaha illa anta subhanak. None has the right to be worshipped except you. Inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Subhanak means how far from imperfection you are. Subhanak. Verily I was among the wrongdoers. And this is sunnah of Adam alayhi salam as well. When Adam alayhi salam, when he left paradise, Shaitan, when he was kicked out of the heavens, he blamed Allah. When Adam alayhi salam was sent from heavens to the earth, and he realized that he made a mistake, he said, it is my fault. Inni kuntu min al-zalimin. And so Allah forgave him. Boys and girls, this dua is very important. You should learn the meaning of this dua, and you should use this dua, inshallah ta'ala, whenever needed. May Allah bless you all. We are going to be taking a short break, but when we come back, we are going to start another segment, and it is going to be a very important segment, inshallah ta'ala, where you learn a very important surah in the Quran, but you don't just learn it, you learn how to recite it with tajweed. Boys and girls, after a short break, we are going to come back. Stay with us. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, boys and girls. Let's take you, inshallah ta'ala, to the next segment. I'm Ustaz Hamza, and we're here to learn a surah from Quran with tajweed. This is a very important surah, boys and girls. Before I take you there, inshallah, let's have a quick look at the dua that we learned today. Dua is, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Now I told you the story behind this surah, behind this dua, and you should say this dua when you are in distress. When you think that there is no one who you can call on to for help, or you are in trouble, or you think that there is no, you call on to Allah Azza wa Jal, and inshallah, Allah Azza wa Jal, you will find Allah's aid and help coming your way, inshallah ta'ala. Make it a habit. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Boys and girls, super excited to teach you a tajweed rule today. Tajweed rules. In which surah? We'll find that out. Let's go.
أرجو به أن ينفع الطلاب والأجر والقبول والثواب.
Welcome. As you can see, Bunny got his Quran. Have you got your Quran? Today, inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to show you this first page from Quran. This is not the first page, this is before the first page. Boys and girls, the Quran that you have, that most of you use, that looks like this Quran is called Mushaf al-Madinah. النبوية. This is what it's called, مصحف المدينة النبوية. And here is the first page of this Quran, and it is Surah Al-Fatiha. And the second surah is Surah Al-Nas? No, the second surah is Surah Al-Baqarah, and you can see that this is the Fatiha, and here is the second chapter, Surah Al-Baqarah. Although Surah Al-Fatiha is the first surah in Quran, it was not the first surah to be revealed. It was Surah Al-Alaq, the first 5 verses of Surah Al-Alaq. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. But Fatiha is the first surah that you will find in almost any Quran that you open. And we call it Fatiha from the word muftah, which means key. It means the opener. So Surah Al-Fatiha opens the Quran, is the first surah in the Quran. Boys and girls, today we are going to learn this surah with tajweed. I'm going to start off by reciting these verses to you, and then I am going to tell you some secrets about this surah, and we are going to learn some tajweed rules in this surah. Pay attention. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. You don't see isti'adha here, but you should read this if you are starting your recitation. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. Boys and girls, let's have a look. Surah Al-Fatiha. If I ask most of you, what's the first verse in Surah Al-Fatiha? You would say, it's Alhamdulillahi Rabbil. But you see number 2 here, which makes Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim the first ayah of this surah, and we call this Al-Basmalah. Al-Basmalah. Basmalah, Bismillahir Rahman, which you see at the beginning of a lot of surahs, is part of Surah Al-Fatiha, but is not part of this surah here. It's not a verse in Surah Al-Baqarah, although we read it. And that is the case with almost all the rest of the surahs. Not almost, which is the case with all the rest of the surahs in the Quran. When we say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim in other surahs of Quran, you are not reading the surah itself, you are just reading Al-Basmalah. This is the first verse of Surah Al-Fatiha, boys and girls. But sometimes, most of the times, you would not hear Imam saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. But if you go in some countries, the Imam, when they say Allahu Akbar, they would say Subhanakallahumma du'a al-istiftah, and then they would say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillah. They would say Basmalah out loud. But most A'imma, they would say it quietly. That doesn't mean they're not saying it, it just means that they're saying it quietly. But you must read Bismillah, you must say Bismillah, inshallah ta'ala, when you are reading Surah Al-Fatiha, whether it's quietly or when you say it out loud. And when I say you must, it's because when you pray, you have to read Surah Al-Fatiha. If Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, part of Surah Al-Fatiha, and you don't read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, then it means you haven't read the whole Fatiha, which means your prayer is not finished yet. That's something very, very important. Altogether, there are 7 verses in Surah Al-Fatiha. And Surah Al-Fatiha is given a lot of different names, such as Sab' al-Mathani, Ash-Shafiyah. And if you read Surah Al-Fatiha 7 times on water and you drink it, it is shifa, inshallah ta'ala. It will cure you. So, it is cure. Surah Al-Fatiha is also called the cure. and it is also a dua. And Surah Al-Fatiha can tell you a lot about the message. It summarizes the message of Quran. So, I'm going to teach you how to recite this with tajweed. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ra here is a full mouth letter and a Ra here is a full mouth letter. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. It's not a Rabbi, it's Rabbil Alameen. I'm highlighting full mouth letters in blue. When I say a full mouth letter, watch here. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ameen. Now, the reason I highlighted these letters for you, because a lot of times I hear those who make mistakes, they say غيري when it's غيري, مغضوبي when it's supposed to be مغضوبي. They say صراط when it's صراط, صراط. So you have to know the difference here. Barakallahu feekum. It's very important that you learn to differentiate between full mouth letters and empty mouth letters. Boys and girls, it's not a Rabbi, it's a Rabbi. I would like to go over this surah one more time and highlight some of the whispering letters for you in green. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Pay attention. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Barakallahu feekum. This is your Surah Al-Fatiha. I do like to highlight very quickly some throat letters for you. For example, Ain and Ha. I often find students make mistake when they're reciting this particular letter. Ha and Ain, Ha and Ain, Ha and then Ha. Barakallahu feekum. So we don't say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It's Rahmanir Rahim. It's not Alameen, it's Alameen. It's not nasta'in, it's nasta'een. It's not alayhim, it's alayhim. It's not an'amta, it's an'amta. Barakallahu feekum, boys and girls. This is going to be the end of our Madrasah TV show. We'll be back next time to teach you, inshallah ta'ala, things that you never learn in a madrasa. I want you to come back, inshallah ta'ala, to watch Madrasah TV show live, inshallah. And also remember to practice this surah with tajweed. You can have a look at all the tajweed rules that I highlighted for you here. And until next time, boys and girls, remember me in your du'as and I remember you in my du'as. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.